Daniel sat alone in his apartment that night. Lily was asleep. The television was off. The room was silent. Yet his mind was racing. For years he had avoided his past. Ignored it. Buried it. But now the past was knocking on his door again. His phone rested on the table. Colonel Walker's message still glowed on the screen. "We need you now." Daniel looked toward Lily's bedroom. Everything he had done over the last decade was for her. Every sacrifice. Every extra shift. Every difficult decision. He promised himself he would never return to the dangerous world he left behind. But someone had attacked Ethan Hartwell. And innocent people could die. At midnight, Daniel finally made his decision. He picked up the phone. The colonel answered immediately. "I was wondering when you'd call." Daniel sighed. "I'm only listening." The colonel smiled. "That's enough." The next morning Daniel arrived at a secure government facility outside the city. The guards checked his identification. The gates opened. Inside waited Colonel Walker. For a moment neither man spoke. Then the colonel handed him a classified file. Daniel opened it. The information was disturbing. A criminal organization known as the Syndicate had targeted several wealthy technology executives. Their goal wasn't money. It was control. They wanted access to powerful medical technologies worth billions. Anyone who refused became a target. Including Ethan Hartwell. "We believe another attack is coming," said the colonel. Daniel studied the photographs. Weapons. Vehicles. Suspects. Escape routes. Everything was carefully planned. Professional. Dangerous. The kind of operation only experienced criminals could organize. When? Walker pointed to a date. Tomorrow. Daniel's eyes narrowed. Not much time. The colonel continued. Ethan is being moved to a secure research facility. And the attackers know it. Exactly. Daniel CLO. The video spread across the internet overnight. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. One question appeared again and again. Who was the single dad from the café? Daniel didn't care. In fact, he didn't even know the video had gone viral. The next morning he woke up at 5:30 a.m., prepared breakfast for Lily, packed her school lunch, and headed to work. Just another normal day. At least that's what he thought. Meanwhile, reporters were already searching for him. Former military personnel watched the video repeatedly. Something about his movements caught their attention. The speed. The discipline. The control. One retired officer stared at the screen and whispered. "No ordinary soldier moves like that." Across town, Daniel dropped Lily off at school. As he turned to leave, she smiled. "Promise you'll come to my school performance tomorrow?" "I wouldn't miss it." "Really? Really?" She hugged him tightly. Neither of them noticed a black SUV parked nearby. Inside sat two men wearing dark suits. Watching. Waiting. One of them lowered a tablet. "It's definitely him." The second man nodded. After all these years. Back at work, Daniel continued making deliveries. Around noon he stopped at a gas station. As he exited the store, he noticed the black SUV. Still there. Following him. His expression didn't change. But he noticed. Years of training had taught him to notice everything. The vehicle followed him to 3 different locations. Then 4. Then 5. Finally Daniel pulled into a quiet parking lot. The SUV followed. Daniel stepped out. A few seconds later, 2 men exited the vehicle. Neither looked threatening. Neither looked nervous. One approached carefully. "Daniel Carter." Daniel remained calm. Depends who's asking. The man smiled slightly. Colonel James Walker. Daniel froze. A name from another life. A life he thought was over. The colonel extended his age. The cafe was crowded on a Saturday afternoon. Families laughed together. Students worked on laptops. Friends chatted over coffee. Near the corner window sat Daniel Carter, a hardworking single father. Across from him sat his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. She smiled as she carefully decorated a cupcake with colorful frosting. "How does it look, Dad?" she asked. Daniel pretended to inspect it seriously. "I think a professional bakery might be worried about competition." Lily giggled. Moments like these meant everything to him. Life wasn't easy. Since losing his wife years earlier, Daniel had raised Lily alone. He worked long hours. Skipped vacations. Ignored his own needs. But seeing Lily smile made every sacrifice worth it. Unfortunately, their peaceful afternoon was about to change. The cafe door swung open. 3 loud men entered. The leader, a large muscular man named Rick, immediately demanded attention. He laughed loudly. Insulted employees. Pushed chairs aside. Everyone noticed him. Most people avoided eye contact. Rick enjoyed making others uncomfortable. As he approached the counter, he noticed Daniel sitting quietly with Lily. The worn clothes. The simple meal. The tired face. To Rick, Daniel looked like an easy target. He smirked. "Hey, buddy." Daniel ignored him. Rick stepped closer. "I asked you something." Daniel looked up calmly. "Can I help you?" Rick laughed. "Probably not." His friends joined in. Several customers became uncomfortable. Daniel simply returned to his daughter's cupcake. That annoyed Rick even more. "What, you too good to talk?" Lily looked nervous. Daniel noticed immediately. He gently placed his hand on hers. "It's okay." Rick continued. "Look at this guy." He pointed dramatically. "Probably can't even afford a real lunch." A few people shook their heads. The cafe grew quiet. Daniel still didn't react. Rick stepped even closer. "What kind of man lets people talk to him like this?" Lily lowered her head. Daniel finally stood. "Not anger.